Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Druk's on Boxing. Saturday night here in South Africa in Johannesburg at the Unisa Sports Centre. There's going to be a big tournament by Boxing 5 Larry Weinstein, featuring two former South African world champions in Hekkie Butler and DJ Kriel, as well as a host of other talented fighters. If what's going to happen on that ball and whoever is going to win interests you, then stay tuned. Headlining the card is of course our very own executioner Hekkie Butler, the former WBA strawweight and unified WBA IBF and ring junior flyweight champion of the world. He's of course scheduled to face the WBC, WBA and ring champion Kenshiro Teraji later this year, and this is strictly a stay busy fight, and that's what the opponent is. It's been quite a few changes of opponents. It was Enrique Magsalin, which was a Filipino who was a substitute for another Thai. Now we're back to a Thai fighter by the name of Wichet Sengprakon. Now Sengprakon has got a rather spotty record, 14 wins, 7 knockouts in those 14 wins, 11 losses, 9 of those losses by way of knockout and 1 draw. There's one recognizable opponent on his record, and that's Panya Pradapsi. He's the guy, of course, who ended the long title reign of Wanning Menayoten, the WBC strawweight champion, and he lasted 4 rounds with him. Now, with Wichet Sengprakon, the names is a bit difficult, I have to keep looking down. So with Sengprakon, the thing with him is a little footage I could find every time he steps up to the plate against an opponent with a decent record, then he gets stopped. The wins that he's had has all been against guys making their debuts, probably Muay Thai fighters, as well as guys with losing records. So he doesn't really beat a good fighter. But he stays in there, he tries to fight, he likes to go to the body, but eventually he does get stopped against the good fighters, and he gets stopped with body punches quite a lot. He doesn't hold up well to the body much, he holds up better to headshots. So for Hekkie Butler, I think that's what he needs to go and do there. He's got to go out there and try and hit Sengprakon in the body. And I think Hekkie should stop a Thai opponent. He always gets stopped against a world-class opponent. Even though Hekkie isn't a big puncher, I can't see it go any other way. So I think he will put in a few rounds and then he'll stop the Thai fighter. More interesting is, of course, former IBF strawweight champion and world title challenger for the IBF junior flyweight title. He put up a very courageous show against Felix Alvarado before getting stopped, and that's of course DJ Kriel. Now this is interesting because of two things. One, the opponent Sandeep Kumar has got a lot better record, 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw with 8 knockouts. All of his wins have been against nondescript opponents, losing records, making their debuts. One had a winning record, a guy from Tanzania. And then in his last win, he beat Toshihiko Ira, a Japanese fighter. Ira also has a knockout against Hekkie's opponent. So in his last fight, he won a solid 10-round decision over Toshihiko Ira. So he's coming off quite a solid win, is Sandeep Kumar. Now, if you go on BoxRec, there are a lot of Indian fighters called Sandeep Kumar, and I couldn't find footage of him. I was watching footage of a guy called Sandeep Kumar and then realized this guy is way too big. Wasn't the same Sandeep Kumar. So all I know about him is his record. Now DJ has fought at a much higher level. He's 17-2-1. He's a former world champion. But DJ also has had a lot of activity. And in his last fight against Thembelani Ngoshe, I was there on that ESPN Africa show. He struggled quite a bit. You know, he took a long while to get going. Ngoshe had quite a bit of success against DJ, and eventually DJ found his stride and he won a very competitive points decision. So DJ, I believe this fight is taking place in the junior bantamweight division again. A few months ago, I saw him there at the Hotbox gym. A very personable guy, DJ Kriel is, but he puts on weight between fights. You know, he looked quite chunky, and obviously he's lost some of the weight now, but I've got to ask myself whether it's really the best weight for DJ. He was world champion at strawweight. He challenged for another world title at junior flyweight. Against Alvarado, he didn't really seem to have a firepower to make his opponent think twice. Was it maybe because he was pulling too much weight? Is junior bantamweight or flyweight the better weight for him? I'm not so sure. So that's that question mark about DJ's weight going up in between fights, and is he really in the right division? But still, I think Sandeep Kumar is a better opponent than Wichet Sengprakon that Heki is fighting, and I think it's the most interesting fight of a ball. I think Kumar looks like he could give DJ a bit of trouble, maybe give him a go, but it's a big step up for Kumar, and I think DJ has had a bit of a tune-up against Norshe, and I think now the rush should be off. He's had some good sparring at Hotbox. I saw him sparring with Lodumo Lamati there, and I think DJ will win this fight. I think he'll probably stop Kumar somewhere in the later rounds. The class should overwhelm him, or he should win clearly on points. But as I say, I can only go on Sandeep Kumar, the one that DJ's fighting's record. There's nothing there for me to watch. But I think that's a fight that really I will have the most interest in. Then if we move down the ball, we've got Siko Ngotole. Now Siko Ngotole is world ranked by the WBC at the moment. He's a junior bantamweight, 16 wins, 2 losses. Both those losses came against Sabelo Ngebenyana, who is a very underrated fighter. And it's an interesting division here in South Africa. I don't know if DJ is going to stay as a junior bantamweight, but you've got Landi Ngeke, you've got Pumelele Kafu, you've got Ngotole, you've got Ngebenyana. It's quite a round robin there of fighters where on any given night one can possibly beat the other. So that's what's interesting in South Africa. But who is Siko Ngotole facing? He is facing Boonrung Payom. I hope I say it right. Thai name's Boonrung Payom. With a decent records, 10 wins, 10 knockouts, and two defeats. And the defeats are also both by knockout. So Payom is a go big or go home kind of fighter. He can hit, and he also can get knocked out. But if I look on his record, there is no really good wins there. It's once again, it's all guys with losing records, guys making their debut in Thailand. That usually means they are Muay Thai fighters, that's converting or just going in for an extra payday. So when he steps up against guys that are not world class but have decent records, he gets stopped. So I'm thinking against Siko Ngotole, he's also going to get stopped. I don't see much else coming out of it from him. And Siko Ngotole has got good momentum, because he beat Denmark Webido in his last fight for a second-tier IBF title, I believe, or I'm not sure if it was IBF or IBU. I think it was an IBF title. But nonetheless, it was a good, solid win for Siko Ngotole. So I think he should just have to match for Boonrung Payom, and he should stop him. Then we come to the ladies. Now, 2 girls are on the ball there that I think are among our best female fighters. None Tenge is getting a bit long in the tooth, and Bukiwe Nonina didn't look good in the last fight. And the first one, of course, is Simangele Hadebe, a flyweight. We call her Smash. Nice nickname, Smash Hadebe. And she's got a record of 12 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. And you see the problem with the female fighters, there isn't much depth. Worldwide, they don't have a depth that the men have, but in South Africa it's really slim pickings, and you can see she's fought many people 3 times, like Ellen Simwaka fought her 3 times, and Melissa Miller fought her 3 times, and now Simangele Hadebe Smash always, she sort of seems to be in good form lately. She fights well, and she checks the form book, she looks well, she passes the eye test, but she lacks opponents that's going to really force her. And she's taking on the Thai Panaluk Kong Sang. Now, Kong Sang has got a record of 11 wins, 11 losses, 1 draw. So she's lost as many as she's won, and she's never been stopped. Usually the female fighters don't stop each other. It's an 8 rounds flyweight bout. And I think the way to bet is that Smash Hadebe is probably going to win this runaway on points. I don't think she's going to... it's unlikely that she'll stop the Thai girl who's never been stopped before, but you never know. The Thais usually don't travel very well, so you might see a stoppage. And then, of course, we've got Hedda the Shredder Vormer 7-0, and she's taking on a Zimbabwean fighter called Mona Lisa Simon. She goes by several names. I had trouble finding her in BoxRec, but eventually I did. She's got a record of 6 wins and 9 defeats. So in those 9 defeats, there's also 6 knockout losses. So, and she's also 40 years old, and she mostly fought as a lightweight, and this is a welterweight bout, if I remember correctly. Hedda is moving up to welterweight. So I can only see this going one way, and that is a stoppage for Hedda. Because Hedda can crack a bit, and she's got 4 stoppages and 7 wins. One just wishes she can get a bit of a better opponent. Hedda really, to me, she belongs in the UK or in Europe somewhere. There's lots better competition there. And she's only been tested once in her career, and that was a Ras fight, Roof Chisale, where she had to scramble to salvage a decision. And she showed a lot of guts and grit to pull through that fight. A rematch was negotiated, and Chisale pulled out by all accounts. So they wanted the rematch. The rematch never came. That would have been much more interesting to me. But at least she's staying busy. But I don't think Mona Lisa Simon has got anything to offer Hedda. I think Hedda is just going to roll over her. So that's it. So a star-studded bull there at the UNISA Centre. And also young Caden Treater is also on the bull. He's one of the young prospects to watch. The younger brother of Tristan Treater. So a lot of prospects on the bull. But I think it's going to go the way it goes. I think the most competitive fight, possibly DJ Kriel against Sandeep Kumar. That's a foreign visitor with the best record behind his name. But I think Eki Butler should stop Wichet Sengprakon. I'm thinking DJ Kriel wins by a wider decision than he did last time, or he stops Sandeep Kumar. Siko Ngotole against Bunrung Payom. I think Siko is going to win by stoppage. Smash Radebe, I think, probably wins on points, but the stoppage won't surprise me if she becomes the first one to stop the Thai fighter. That'll be interesting. And I think Hedda Wolmarans is going to roll over Mona Lisa Simon. That's how I see it going. It's going to be a fun evening of boxing. It's televised on SuperSport. If you can get over there, get over there. Apparently they're going to raffle a car. You don't often get to win something at a boxing tournament, so that'll be nice too if you can drive home in a new car. But I'll be watching with interest because I would like to check Eki's form for his fight against Kenshiro. And it's always good to see DJ back, and Siko Ngotole, Hedda Wolmarans, Smash Radebe, Caden Treater. They're all solid prospects, or in the case of Ngotole, budding contenders to watch. So that's my take. Please tell me in the comment sections, what do you think about Saturday's Boxing 5 event? Who do you have winning? And remember to hit that like button and smash the subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.